Okay, y'all, I am so excited to be back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a delay. Y'all know how this is. Look, I got married on Monday. I'm still in the honeymoon phase. So, welcome to episode 7. Let me give you the enthusiasm that you deserve. Welcome to the executive suite. Make sure that you drop in the comments where you are chiming in from. I missed you guys so much. I am your host and girl, TeQuila Shabazz. I am officially a wife now. I'm in the Wives Club. Shout out to the wives. I'm a mother to an adult daughter, friend, social entrepreneur, leader, teacher, writer, speaker, disruptor, risk taker, creative of my own peace, joy, and happiness. And I'm exactly who I say that I am. And sometimes what I don't know, God's plan, right? I am timeless. So if you ask me about my age, that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that I am timeless. Although I do belong to that Gen X crew, I'm going to tell y'all what I don't like. I don't like groupthink. I don't like cliques. I don't like blind followers. It really makes me itch. But outside of that, I love, and I love everything about women who are making it happen despite anything else, right? Like no excuses. And I'm so excited to have our two guests that we have today. And you guys know how I do. I let people introduce themselves, but let's bring them in right now. I have Monica Abernathy with A Polished Works, and I have Pam with Viking CPA. Welcome, ladies. So happy to have you guys here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yay. Thank you, Lucy. I'll take that. Congratulations on the wedding. Yes, it was good. We did it our way. I am happy to have Monica. I'm happy to have Pam. And I want to take this time for you guys to get to know these ladies. I'm going to kick things off with you, Monica. And getting to know your story first. You guys know when we kick everything off, we first get to know the ladies, and it makes everything following this a lot more fun, right? So, Monica, tell me who you are, past, present, and future, right? Who's past Monica, who's present Monica, and who is future Monica?
So that's very interesting right now because there's a lot of transition happening in my life. So I grew up an only child and just really kind of creative, still kind of different. That's remained the same. And then presently I am walking into independent like CEO role and kind of taking more charge and finding my niche in different areas. Future, I want to continue to expand to do that and increase the audience and the community that I serve and actually step out more.
Very good. Now tell us, Monica is the founder of the A Polished Works and owner of A Polished Works. So tell us about A Polished Works, where it's located, give us all the tea on APW.
So first, TeQuila, we're going to fall out about the S.
I know. Look. I've been a client for so long, and she do this to me every time. It's A Polished Work. A Polished Work. Yes, right. There is no S at the end.
No S.
Okay.
Yes, no S. So we are a full-service nail salon located in the Grand Crossing community on the south side of Chicago. And we've been in operation for 8 years, soon to be 9. And basically, it came out of a need that I felt for our community to have a quality nail business, where the clients were catered to, they actually were educated on their nails and received the service that they deserved. So not necessarily something just like in and out, or where you don't feel heard, seen, or respected, but where it's a community, right? So, and again, you've been there several times, and each time you kind of involve yourself with other clients, there's community conversation, there's community engagement. So that's really important to me, and I wanted to have a space for us that it's self-care, it's that escape. It's not inconvenient, so where you don't have to go outside of your normal neighborhood or do anything extraordinary to have a moment for yourself.
how does that, I mean, how long has a polished work been around?
So 8 years. So we'll be
8 years.
celebrating our 9th anniversary in December.
Yeah, and how has it been? I mean, you've seen a lot of transitions in this space. 8 years, 9 years as a Black-owned nail salon, right? Is a long time. You like an OG in this game. So how was it for you when you first started, especially competing against the Korean, predominantly Korean-owned nail salons that you find in our communities and others, honestly?
So first, I've never looked at them as my competition, just in the sense that what we're offering is completely different, right? So there's space for everyone. So there are some people where that's going to be the best method for them, and that's fine because those aren't my clients, right? I'm here to serve a certain audience, certain population that values nail care, that values the service and the experience that we provide. So it's completely different playing fields. So I didn't look at it like that. But one of the major challenges was to kind of that separation and getting people to understand that no, we're not going to do things like them, but not necessarily bashing. But some things that are done there are not standard or are not a part of sanitation practices or different things like that, right? So, but when you have it where the majority is doing something, people think that, oh, because the majority is doing it, it's right. And now you're doing something different, so you're wrong. So just getting past a lot of that. But one of the things we just kept providing that service and education to our clients to let them know, like, hey, we have credentials and everything to back up what we're saying. The people that you're seeing doing these other things, can you say the same for them?
Yep, exactly. So I've been in there, like I've been attending APW for 3 years now, and I'm a regular. So I've seen with Monica, not only is she servicing people that look like us, that care about not just supporting Black businesses, but nail care in general. They care about my nails. I feel like I'm family there. And one thing that I absolutely love is I also have seen your daughters be a part of this community. So talk a little bit about that and how this has been a part of their lives and how it is helping them along with other young women like them.
Oh, absolutely. So I have two daughters. My oldest is 21 and my younger one is 16. And they are both nail techs. So they've both been trained professionally to be nail techs, and they worked at the salon. So the one of the things that really stood out and that I always tell people is that my youngest, she was 6 when we started. And so had a meeting and we're discussing the plans. And one of the things she said was, oh, I thought only Chinese people could do nails. And so I was kind of like taken aback by it because this was, my child that had been other places, had traveled, had seen a lot of things already at 6. And this was her perspective because this is what she saw in our communities or everywhere around, or what everybody talked about when they went to get their nails done. That's where they went. So just disrupting that status quo was a big motivation behind making sure that she sees something differently, or that she knows that there's another option out there. Or just because you don't see something right now doesn't mean that you can't be the first, or you not necessarily, not saying I was the first Black owned, but that you can't start or go a different direction, or that path isn't for you. So really wanting to be that positive impact that she can see and know that, hey, I can do this as well. And now, as I said, she recently finished nail school and she works at the salon, and she's great, has her own clientele, really is great with interacting with people, has that confidence in her work and her abilities. So even if she doesn't continue to pursue this, it's something that will impact her or help her in her journey through life.
Right. And she's not even finished with high school yet. And
No.
You know what I mean? Like she's still in high school doing this. That is so dope to me. So tell me about like your immediate family dynamics.
So right now I'm interested. Yeah. Yes, I have 2 daughters, and right now I'm a caregiver for my mom as well. So that takes up a lot of time.
So talk about that. Talk about the change, because you're not just the owner, founder, CEO of your company, but you are also a nail tech that works at the salon. So tell me about the challenges that you've had to face balancing, being a caregiver to your mom, raising your daughters, and also running your salon and make sure that it scales and grows year over year.
Yeah. So it is definitely a lot. It's a balancing act, and every day is different, right? So there are sometimes, people say, oh, I want to balance everything, but there are some days that something's going to get left, right? You have to figure out at this moment what's the most pressing, or what do I need to focus on right now? What's the most the highest priority for today, and just kind of take it a step at a time, because they are all competing demands for my time. They are all important, but you have to really try to plan and schedule as much as possible. I've done a lot of shifting this year with separating that time and really delegating. Okay, this time is for clients. When I'm with clients, that's my hands are tied and I'm interacting with my clients, so that I'm not checking emails, or I can't really do anything else. So I have days that are admin days where they're off. I'm out of the salon, but they're dedicated to actual checking email, corresponding, planning, marketing, strategy, and all of that. So it's just a matter of really being intentional about every moment and the way that I spend my time, and what are the priorities, and where, what are the goals as well.
So, if your final question for this segment is, what are some of the challenges that you are facing?
Just right now, focusing on scaling, growing while in everything, right? So, there's a point where you have where you want to get to, and there are several things that have to happen before you get to that point. But in the middle, it's kind of chaotic. So think about a renovation. You're going to have like this beautiful kitchen, but in the middle, it's a mess, and you still have to live in this mess for a little while until it's done. So that's where I am right now. There are a lot of moving parts, and I know the end result is coming, but it's just in this, it's like, oh, okay, I'm doing all of these things at one time. So that's the most challenging.
I lied. I got one more question for you, because we got 2 minutes.
Of course.
How do you define success? Because that's a very subjective sort of viewpoint. Some people is like, I want to get $1 million, or if you're anything like me, it's about having time freedom. So how do you define success? Tell me in 60 seconds or less.
So I define success in 2 ways, actually. It's freedom and impact. So for me, it is having the freedom of choice, the freedom of your time, being able to do the things that you would like to do, to feel fulfilled, to help your mindset. And then the other one is impact. So leaving some type of legacy, or even if it's not on your immediate family, on a community, or on the people that you're serving. So I know that we've made impact in our clients' lives, and then as well as the overall community. And I gave an example earlier with my children.
Very good. Yeah, that's very much aligned with our LIFT principles at Key, where we say LIFT principles, and that stands for legacy, leadership, integrity, freedom, talent, and team, right? So this is where we all intersect, and this is where not just the talent, but also our clients, we all are aligned here, and that's why I believe we have so much success. Thank you, Monica. You did really well, girl. Hey.
This is not my thing.
You did. I love hearing your story. And Donnie Day said that what a wonderful story. There's an African proverb that says children are the reward of life, right? So she wanted to throw that in there as just saying, with having your family and your children be a part of it. That's huge, especially when our children a lot of times don't want to have nothing to do with what we doing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and transition over to Pam. Hey, Pam.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, girlfriend?
I'm good.
Good. So we're going to get to know a little bit about Pam, and I love to start it off by asking the same question that I asked Monica. Who is past Pam? Who is present Pam? And who is future Pam?
Yeah, you thought I would have known after you asked her what I was going to say, but I guess to me, past Pam, I was an oxymoron. I'm a nerd from the hood. So I am from Flint, Michigan. And I was a nerd growing up. friends, a daughter, a sister, all of that. And somebody who loved life and made good choices, which brings me to current Pam. I am a wife. I am a business owner, owner of Viking CPA Group. So, and I am a CPA with personality, which is yet another more oxymoron. So I'm a hood nerd, CPA with personality, which is very hard to come by. And yeah, that's who I am now. And then in the future, I hope to be a CEO and president, serial entrepreneur, a better wife, a better sister, a better daughter, a better friend, a better leader, a better community servant. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Love it. So tell me about Viking CPA, what you guys do there, how long you've been around, that sort of good stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I started Viking CPA Group 8 years ago. We service business owners with their accounting needs, tax planning, general business consulting, everything that a business needs to thrive. So I started it 8 years ago. I've been full-time for 5 years, and we are based in Atlanta, but we service clients all over the U.S.
Yes. And you know what I say all the time? I get this question, like, if you could go back in your business and do anything differently, what would it have been? I say I would have hired an accountant from the start. And so many people are like, well, I can't afford an accountant. I'm like, look, listen, but can you afford those tax mistakes that you make? Those bookkeeping errors?
It's more expensive to clean it up after the fact than to invest in it right away. And even today, an article came out about the IRS is going to start targeting small business. Like they're hoping to get $2 billion from tax recovery from businesses who net less than $200,000. So it's more expensive after the fact.
And here's the thing I just want to intercept here and say, that there is an attack for real on the small business owner, the entrepreneur, the independent contractor that's happening right under our nose that people may not even realize right now. But I mean, there is an attack on the independent contractor. If you guys are familiar with what's going on with truck drivers in California, and the gig economy with Uber drivers and things like that. And now you're telling me, they're going to start targeting small business owners. Why? Because post-COVID, there was a rise of business owners and independent contractors and people that said, I don't have to go and sit at anybody's corporate desk and have them dictate what my life is going to be, my schedule is going to be, when I can attend my child's, concerts, etc. And people gain control. And real talk, government don't like that.
Right.
So tell me about your immediate family dynamics.
Yeah, sure. So I got married a little over a year ago. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary in July. So that's fun. And then all of our family is still in Michigan for the most part. So we're here in Atlanta. Our family, we're both really close with our families in Michigan. So that's our dynamic, a lot of back and forth, a lot of FaceTime calls. And right now it's me and my husband. So we do what we want because we don't have any kids right now. So that's our dynamic.
Got it. And yeah, somebody said 2 people was like hood from the nerd from the hood. Pam, put that on a shirt.
Okay, I will.
Good nerd. Put that on the shirt. You better do it because there's some people on here that might do it.
I know, right?
So put that on the shirt.
I'm gonna call my lawyer right after this call and get that process going.
It's trademarked, y'all, already. How do you define success, Pam?
Yeah, I think Monica really answered for me too. Freedom of time and of money, and not wanting things, not needing things, not asking anyone for anything, whether it's approval, time off, and then also how do people resonate with what I try to educate. Like you said, business ownership is on a rise. Therefore, accounting, taxes also needs to be on a rise. It is not. Even pre-pandemic, no one thought they needed accounting until they did. Now they couldn't get the PPP loans, like they couldn't get anything because their financials weren't in order. So educating small businesses, because that's what drives our economy. But accounting, you don't have a business if you don't have accounting. You don't know your numbers. You can't make decisions based off of what your gut, which is fine, but you need some facts and some numbers to help with that. So that's how I define success, is making sure businesses thrive based on the knowledge of their numbers and the accounting. And I had something to do with that, as well as bringing up Black accountants, because in our profession, it's less than 2% of CPAs are Black. And that's been the statistic for over 70 years. Nothing really has moved the needle and changed. So just impacting in that way as well.
So is there things that, I know Flint, Michigan, I just want to go there because that's your hometown. And I know that a lot of us may remember Flint, Michigan, because of the water situation. And the water situation is still a situation. People just are not talking about it. Are there things that you said that you're back and forth? Are there things that you do inside of Flint, Michigan from a community service perspective? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so when I go back, I have tried to do different workshops and seminars for business ownership. I've donated money in the philanthropy way. Like you mentioned, a lot of things are not discussed and talked about. So even I am a little bit more removed than I say I would like to be. So when I do go back, I try to get involved as much as possible, whether it's community, church. A couple of my friends have foundations. So just figuring out ways that I can still give back. My husband and I discussed a lot of philanthropy things that we both can do, because he's in education. He missed the Flint kids a lot. And then, just what can we do?
Yeah. So tell me, Pam, we met like 2 years ago? It's been a minute. What are some of the challenges that you face with your business? And this will be the final question, managing, your professional and your personal life, or just overall, what are some of your current challenges?
Yeah, managing time is a challenge, to make sure, because I can work all day if you let me. Because I'm that busy. So one, trying to hire. When you and I met, I used your services, which I don't know how I function without it. But even still trying to hire staff to actually help do the work is a thing, because we are growing, which is great. And Monica's analogy was great. Like, we are definitely in the middle of reconstruction, and I'm living in mess. So with that, trying to document processes, hiring, and training materials, as well as doing the work, servicing clients, as well as trying to be a wife. That's challenging, because I can sit here and literally work all day. I have enough to do it, but then my husband's just sitting on the couch like, what are we gonna eat? So
man, that part.
Right. I hate that conversation every day. What are we gonna eat? I don't know. Like so yeah.
Me too. Me too. So you know what I do? I ask first, what we gonna eat?
I know. And then he'd be like, I picked yesterday.
Right. Can we just trade this off? It really is a thing. It is a thing when you can end up working all day. And I think that as small business owners, you both have been in business 8, 9 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 10. This is my second business within that 10 years. This is being 4. And it feels like you're always in a space of reconstruction and transition and evolution. It just feels like it's perpetual, right? Because that's growth.
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. I tell people all the time, if you don't have any level of fear in your business, you're not doing enough. You playing it way too safe.
Way too safe. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and break to a commercial. And you guys, you know that we are on episode 7. That's a big thing. We are halfway through.
Congratulations.
We are celebrating, okay? Where we have met with some phenomenal women. And we're just going to, as part of our commercial break, we're going to hear a little bit of recap. And of course, hear some words from Key. So we're going to go ahead and break to commercial right now. You guys, how have you managed or coexist, whatever word is best used to define your relationship with bipolar disorder?
Prayer is the first thing. The second thing is having the relationships that I have with my primary care physician and making sure that she has an open line of communication with my therapist, doing my due diligence, that journaling, that prayer, that meditation. Certain places I don't go anymore because the only person I can control is myself. I can't control how you operate, but if the way you operate triggers me, all I have to do is say, I love you and I respect you, but I love myself so much that the way I have to deal with you is that long-handed spoon.
What would you tell you as your own sister friend?
Girl, you are enough.
Mm-hmm.
You are truly enough. Do not overthink anything. Do not feel as though you're incapable. You are more than enough. Your mistakes are truly lessons. And if it was my sister girl, which means that we were in the same circle, and she probably was someone like me who had imposter syndrome, I would let her know that she has accomplished far more than what she thought she accomplished.
Yes. I'm so glad. And then, of course, we want to get a word from our sponsor.
Key Virtual Support Solutions matches you with highly qualified, pre-vetted entry to executive level talent for your business or personal needs. We can support you or your team with administrative, sales, customer service, or operation needs. The process is simple and we can match you within 72 hours. Call 217-212-4367 or visit our website at keysupportsolutions.com to learn more.
Yay. Welcome back, ladies. Welcome back. You guys, you know what I do here. I definitely help a lot of Black women. I help all businesses, but my primary customer are Black women that have superwoman syndrome, that don't know how to stop working, that don't, just are in need of a disruption to help themselves. So I love what we do at Key because we have helped quite a few. I mean, we have helped over 100 businesses right now. We've grown substantially with the number of VAs who are also primarily Black women and businesses that we service. So if you need help with administrative, customer service, sales, any of the above on a remote level, we can definitely do it from entry level to executive level. And we are really good. I have 2 clients right here. They just happen to both be
Absolutely.
clients. And they're longtime clients too.
Yes, it has definitely been a game changer. And I know you just did your promo, but I recommend everybody because it's really made a huge difference in my business and the way I operate and the things that I'm able to do. So thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. And I already said it. I don't know how I did it by myself. And just being Key in my Kiva, being a part of the team and we're growing together, it's just been amazing.
Yep. And a big part of that, you guys heard me say that they are longtime clients, and this is not like a shameless plug, but it's just real for those who may need help. A big part of that is finding quality help and consistent people that actually stay around and can grow with you, right? And so when people enter into relationships with us, they're like, well, how long are they going to be with me? Or why am I paying this? It's a difference. We are not Fiverr. We are not Upwork. This is quality over here. So make sure you give us a call if you need support in your business, or even if you're a busy executive, we help you with that as well. Speaking of being busy, right? We just heard from a recap from Dr. TeQuila and TeQuila Shabazz, who have been on previous episodes with us. And one of the things I love to talk about, because it is so important, we, in the past, being entrepreneurs, have definitely heard things like team no sleep, I do whatever. Right, exactly. Excuse me. No. I shamefully, and I didn't know any better, would tout, those sorts of things. But then you break down and you learn that that's not the way, right? That's wisdom. So let's talk about self-care, right? Because I think it is so important, especially as women. We just do business different from men. men are grueling and they will brag about, I ain't sleep for 3 days. I've been off on Red Bull. You a punk. If the self-care conversation is different, but with the rise of women entrepreneurs, especially Black women entrepreneurs, and looking at our history of just always working, what is your self-care routine, Monica? What does that look like for you, and how important is that?
So for me, first off, it's taking care of my mind. And with so much going on and being responsible for so much, it's really important that I step back and take time to really be mindful of different moments, being grateful for where I am, even though there are so many things that I still hope to accomplish and so many things going on. So just taking that time to focus on the things that I've already done, that's a big deal. As far as actual things, I get massages, I get my hair done, I take naps. That's one of the biggest things for me, is that sometimes, like, I think it was this week, I had errands to run, and it was like, okay, I still have all of these things to do, and I'm like, but I'm tired, so I said, I'm gonna take a nap, and I slept for like an hour, and then I was able to get up and finish and continue those things. But you have to be able to rejuvenate yourself, especially for me. It's like, if I'm down there, it impacts so many things. I'm responsible for so much that I have to take care of myself to make sure that all of these other things function. So it's a priority.
Absolutely. And doing so without feeling guilty or punishing ourselves, because so many people, as women, will be like, if I take this nap, this isn't gonna, get done. Nah, wait, right? So I love that you were like, nah, we finna go ahead and take this nap, because look, I don't even feel guilty. I'm like, nap time. I aspire to be a cat. You understand what I mean? My long-term goals. When people ask me, like, I want to live the cat life. You cannot disrupt the peace of the cat. Pam, what does self-care look like for you? And how do you prioritize it?
When people ask me, Pam, what's your hobby? I say sleep. Like, that's my number one answer. And I'm not the sleep when I'm dead type of person. I don't get a lot of sleep. Like, my body naturally doesn't need it until it does. And so I listen to my body. So on a daily basis, I may get 5-6 hours of sleep, because I am a night owl, but then business requires you to get up. So I'm tired. And then when my body tells me to relax, that's what I do. So that to me is self-care, and not feeling guilty. That part took a long time, to not feel guilty that, I didn't even turn on my computer today. At this point, I don't care. My body told me to relax, so that's what I'm going to do. Therapy is one thing. Like you mentioned, taking care of your mind. So talking to people, getting therapy, journaling, identifying that I'm not an imposter and I don't have to compare myself. I love that clip earlier about imposter syndrome, because it's very real. Especially if you surround yourself with successful people, you feel like you're not doing enough. But if you really reflect, you are. Traveling pre-COVID, I was somewhere at least every month, every other month. It slowed down, but I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm so excited for that. In addition, going to the Maldives. I know, right? I'm looking forward to that. Now, that's self-care, right? It's an island surrounded by water, so it's nothing to do but rest. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then also travel to go see family, and family trips. Concerts and music. Music is a huge thing for me. So tapping into that is self-care for me.
Yes, I love that. I just got goosebumps, because for both of y'all, like, that's my thing. Like, napping, resting, and then being in a place where you're surrounded by nothing but beautiful water. Right? Like, no cell phones, no internet, none of those things that can disrupt you and distract you, right? Because it's real easy, even when you are on vacation, to get distracted by that. So I love that. And I want to talk a little bit about something that you said. It kind of transitions perfectly into my next statement about community and being part of a community. of entrepreneurs, right? So I am part of a community of entrepreneurs, a couple of them, but one in particular where, I mean, look, they go hard in the paint, right? So I remember having a conversation and saying that I have a goal to hit, $1 billion valuation in the next 5 years. And there's certain things that I want to do, but I'm not going to sacrifice my health getting there. Like, my health is still the priority. And you mentioned that when you're surrounded by successful people, sometimes you can feel like you're lacking, right? So when we talk about having a community that we're a part of, a business community, what are some of the things that you look for in a healthy community? How do you define this is a healthy community for me, and this may not be the community for me, just based on like mindset and action, things like that? Go ahead.
Relationship. For me, the first thing is relationship. If I enter into or try to infiltrate into a community and the first thing you do is just throw your business card in my hands, we hadn't talked, I don't know what you do, you don't know me, I didn't even ask for your business card, that's a key indication that this is not a relationship driven place. Relationships are key. And then also, how are we helping each other? I want to give and I want to get in a reciprocal, natural manner, nothing forced. I want to get to know you. How can I help you? How can you help me? And just support. And then not judging and not being comparative. All of that still stems from relationships. So that's kind of what I look for when looking for my tribe, my team. Who can I surround myself with? Even if we do the exact same thing, how can we collaborate? How can we grow together, and not how can I be like you? How can I take from you? How can I get what she has? So that's kind of what I look for.
Yes, I love that. What about you, Monica?
Absolutely. I would say everything that Pam said, she hit it right on the head. So that mutual support and not in the trust, of being able to share and be vulnerable, and then have that other person or that network do the same, so that it's not a competition method, or it's not this person isn't doing something, or they're not, but where someone genuinely wants to help and see you succeed, and they're going to, help wherever they can, and vice versa.
Yeah, shout out to TSP Mastermind. I really feel like that group is very reciprocal in the way that we exchange information, the way that people show up for each other, and the way that you add value, not by taking, but by giving. And through giving is how people see, hey, I do want to work with this person, right? Because if you show up to any relationship and you add value, people are going to want to support you. So I absolutely love the creed that you guys are laying down. So Tiffany says she has to do better at taking care of herself. And Donna Day Creation said, thanks so much for these self-care ideas. They truly do help. And executives that are tuned in right now, tell me about some of your self-care ideas, and also tell me a little bit about your relationships, how you find relationships that are beneficial, like communal relationships to help you professionally, right? What are some of the groups that you guys are a part of, if you don't mind sharing, if you are a part of any groups, a chamber, any local groups, anything like that? Pam?
Yeah, so COVID really messed up my life. I started changing a few things and where I would go, and networking things. I am a part of BNI group, if anyone's familiar with that. It's a closed group, referral based marketing, which really taught me a lot about networking and how to be a better business owner. So that's one of the main groups. I'm also a part of the National Association of Black Accountants, which I've been a part of since I was in college. So that's a lot of professional skills, soft skills, networking, still technical things, yes, but it's really a family. So those are the two main things that I'm a part of at this time.
What about you, Monica?
I am a part of Founders First. I know you're familiar with that, but it's a cohort of entrepreneurs And so we bounce resources off one another, or ideas, resources, as well as implement different tools to advance in or help our scaling and growing up our businesses. I also have a group for nail techs and salon owners, entrepreneur. So we support one another and help with resources. So Pam, what you were saying about businesses and having that accounting and bookkeeping support is very important, and it's one of the things that is rare in the beauty industry, just because it operates a little differently from traditional business, right? We have a lot of, cash in, cash out, or not necessarily keeping the accurate records or actually operating within that structure of a business. So trying to focus on those type of things so that we are more successful when we do step out and into the endeavor of opening salons.
I love that. Having a community that supports you, that can show you other ways of doing business is great. Having one that's niched down is extremely valuable. I was actually having a conversation with a young lady earlier today regarding that. And so I am launching a niche down community for VAs, contractors, freelancers of color, right? Because that's a whole nother world in itself as well. So we are going to ask this very tough question. It ain't really that tough. I'm just messing with Monica for real. I want to talk about this. I think as business owners, a lot of times we do not discuss, we talk about starting businesses, but we don't talk about how we're going to exit them, right? Do you guys have you planned how you're going to exit your business? Your legacy?
So I have
Monica.
So I have a plan. It's in, again, transition is a part of this. So the steps that I'm taking now are a part of the scaling back, because it really is difficult to work on the business and in the business at the same time. So you have to have that plan. And again, even though some people think like, oh, it's nails, it is really taxing on your body. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, but you also have to say, okay, at some point I may not be able to do this anymore, or it may not be conducive to, my health or how, movement and things of that nature. So I'm really focusing on that and thinking about that.
Yeah. And what about you, Pam? Have you thought about how you're going to exit your business?
No, in our industry, I mean, these people work till they die. I don't want to do that. But ultimately, I do want to start to become just the true CEO and not so much the person doing the work. So that's kind of my personal exit strategy while the business continues on. At any time, I can sell my book of business to another CPA firm. So that's not too much of a plan I have to think through at this time. My plan is, how am I going to duplicate me and remove me from working in the business so much. So that's my thought. This can be a perpetual company that I get paid from and not have to do the work. That's my exit strategy.
Yeah. So both of you guys still see yourselves as owners of your business, but not necessarily working in the business? Or do you see yourself, Pam, as the CEO until it's time to retire? Just so that I'm clear, or do you see yourself like, let me get out the picture altogether? Y'all can I'll hire a CEO, COO, and just collect my dividends.
I think I would remain the CEO until I retire and probably sell then, or just keep it going and collect. Haven't decided that, only because I really do like what I do. I don't want to exit fully at this time. Ask me again in about 10 years.
What about you, Monica?
Yeah, the same. I would remain CEO, but definitely not, work again until you're dying. It would be very difficult as you're older to still have the patience and just the wherewithal to do nails on a day-to-day basis. So definitely still will have a part and a stake in my business, but also be able to do some other things and invest in others being able to, establish, scale, and grow their businesses as well.
Yeah. And, I talk about it a lot. Like I'm ready to retire in the next 3 to 5 years. So that means positioning my company for sell, to sell it, but also still the way that I see myself being a part is most likely on the board some kind of way and still having shares in the company, but making the company public, right? Also, I see myself as an investor, as a philanthropist. The next phase of my life is a teacher, speaker, coach, investor, philanthropist, and doing some other things that I love. And most importantly, being a cat, right? And living that life. Let's not
forget.
Cannot forget that. Cannot forget
about that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to a commercial break. And this time, ladies, with the commercial break, what happens is that you get 60 seconds to tell us about your business. So there will be a nice piece that comes up on the screen with your picture and all of your information. In just 60 seconds, tell us about A Polished Works, and then 60 seconds tell us about Viking. We're going to go ahead and start with you, Monica. As soon as our lovely Denicia puts up your commercial break piece, you can go right into it.
Hi, I'm Monica Abernathy of A Polished Work Nail Spa Lounge. We are located at 1000 East 76th Street in Chicago's Grand Crossing area on the south side. We are a full service nail salon, and you can book your appointments online at www.apolishedwork.com. We also have an app that you can download and make your appointments there. And that is either on your Android device or Apple device, and that's A Polished Work. If you are interested in venue rental, we do have a garden that we have a little time that you can still have outdoor events, and all of that information is on our website as well. So check us out.
Very good. Okay. You guys, she's been telling me to use the app for 3 years. I'm disruptive. I'm not obedient. I'm a cat. I want everything easy. But she has such excellent customer service that she be breaking her
rules. It becomes battle of the assistants. Like
I swear to God, it does. I'm so bad. Don't follow me. Follow the app. Okay, Pam, with Viking CPA, tell us a little bit more about you, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I am Pam, the CPA owner of Viking CPA Group. We are your CPA firm with personality. We help business owners understand their number and give them the power of knowing their numbers through our accounting, tax, and general consulting services. We also are launching a separate brand, CFO-ish, to help entrepreneurs learn how to function in QuickBooks Online themselves, because you may think you can't afford an accountant, but everyone needs accounting services. We are based in Atlanta, Georgia, but we service clients in all 50 states. Our website, VikingCPAgroup.com, where you can learn more information as well as book consultation calls and apply for services.
Yes, thank you. And I can't say it enough. Get you an accountant, okay? Get you an account. I don't care if you just starting off. I don't care if you think you can't afford it. Like that first contract that you get, make the investment in the accountant, because really, Pam, is it true that like your cost is going to be determined by your volume?
It depends on the services, right? So if it's more tax structure, that's a flat fee. If it's needing accounting services, bookkeeping, accounting services, there's several functions that go into play, and every firm is different. Some people have a set price list, and I don't do it that way. I say I'm going to grow with my clients, and we meet you where you are, and then we'll reestablish what pricing and services look like for you as your businesses grows.
Yeah, so please make sure. I can't tell you enough. Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret before we break to this little session that y'all need y'all to hear, but this is real. I met with my accountant. I'm real embarrassed. Y'all the first to hear it. I'm saying it public. And she went over my numbers, and I thought I was out here doing some stuff because we hit the 7-figure mark, all of that. That don't mean nothing if your profit margins are low. Okay. We so busy looking at the overall arching number that we're not looking at what you're actually taking home. I had to go and restructure everything because my profit margins were way too low. And I had an accountant, but I was not utilizing the services that she had for me. It ain't her fault. I didn't utilize the services fully that she had with me. I'm like, I got my books together. My taxes are good. Okay, that's all I need. But then you start talking about selling your business. You start talking about VCs and investments. You have certain things you need to know. And your profit margins is one of them. And I thought it was something else, but it was so many things to consider. Get you a professional. Okay. You knowing how to put some data into QuickBooks don't mean you got it going on.
But they don't even know that, honestly, not to interrupt you. Because they like, oh yeah, I got QuickBooks. And I look at it, I say, you have it, but I can't use this. So
yeah, that's hard. Although I was good in that area, I actually was told that, hey, your books are a lot better than what other people are. So, but it still needed some work.
Mm-hmm.
It still needed some work, even with that level of detail. Please, I cannot tell y'all enough. People out here, they stress so much on how to get business, marketing, that they do not tell you from an operation standpoint. It's just certain things that you should have in place. And an accountant is the number one thing that I would tell everybody to get in their business. And then, of course, document all of your processes. I got a whole list. But get you an accountant, man. And Viking CPA is real good. Let's go to these words from some of our previous guests.
You said, a stereotype about how much money, the partner needs to make and what type of job they need to have. I don't think those are stereotypes. I think that those are expectations that we come up with and bring to a relationship, which are, in my opinion, unfair to the person that you're projecting those onto, but it's also unfair to you and the relationship because you set yourself up for these high expectations. And then when the person can't deliver that, there's this huge letdown. One of the things that I have learned is most important is communication, respect, and compromise. Communication is probably the single most failure point of any type of relationship. Just the ability to be honest and to tell people how you feel, to be honest about what you're able to do, what you're able to bring to the relationship, and what you're not able to do.
The best part about getting older is I feel like I'm just so smart. Like I'm smart as hell. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And so sometimes I wish that I had this knowledge like years and years ago. But to be fair, I probably would not have listened to any of it. So it doesn't matter.
Would you have wasted it though? Would you have wasted? I did.
Yeah. And being confident too. So you just care a whole lot less about what people think. And everybody says that, but I think once you get older, at least for me, like I actually really do mean that. I care a whole lot less. I'm just like, all right, well, we'll just let whoever think whatever and let that be that.
Yes. Everybody dropping them gems, and you guys will have some gems because it's a lot of gems being dropped in this session. And matter of fact, our executives are saying, man, this is such a good session. And yes, I am the real cat woman without cats.
You want to be a cat. You don't want cats.
To be a cat. That's it. That's all. I just look at cats and envy them. Like, man, you got a good life. Especially a cat that live in a good home and they just get fat and eat and sit in the window all day and watch stuff. And I'm like, that is the life. I'm sorry.
That is so hilarious.
Content. So content. So you guys, in this final segment that we're doing, we're gonna throw out some words. I love this segment because we do a lot of laughing with this, but I'll throw out some words and then you just kind of tell me what the first thing it is. I don't need a long soliloquy. You can say a sentence if you want at the most, but usually this one word with a thought, right? And hey, you guys know in the audience that we do the exact same thing. Make sure that you are participating and throwing out your words. In the meantime, though, like real quick from the executives, tell me some of the things that some of the gems that you walked away with today. Tell me some of the gems. I'm gonna let you guys do that. And I want to ask you ladies like a fun question though, because this is the WTF ever session. So we just do whatever we want, like cats. You know what I mean? It's my favorite part. So what do you think is the most challenging thing for you about aging? Like, what is one of those things, like, as you've gotten older, it has been challenging, eye-opening, something that made you look back like, damn, I wasted that in my youth. You know what I mean? Any of that. It don't even have to be a challenge. It could just be just one of those things you look back. Some people, of course, you know, they talk about their health. You know what I mean? I think somebody was talking about how she used to wear heels everywhere, but she can't do that anymore. You know, it's like just a small thing. Yeah, and it is a thing.
It is.
The heel thing is real.
Purge. It is. I just did a closet purge and tried on all these shoes I had. I said, "How the hell did I do this?"
Yes, it's so interesting. Like, so I used to wear heels a lot, and I would even wear, like, if I was out, it was a Sunday, I was coming from church, and I had to go to the grocery store. I'm wearing heels to the grocery store, and so my mom would be like, "I don't know how you have those heels. Those shoes aren't those too high?" And I'm just looking at her like, "Okay, Mom, no, okay, it's fine. You know, it's no big deal." And now I have to have strict intention for heels. Like, okay, I'm going here. It's going to take me, I'm walking this far to the parking lot or this, and I'm sitting or it.
Exactly.
I wear them.
Yeah. That hurts because I had a really good collection.
Yeah.
Y'all, and then you just keep buying them.
I'm taking another pair of shoes because, yeah.
Look, funny story.
Always.
I go to be a keynote at this, you know, at a graduation earlier this year. And so I have my heels on, and my husband is like, he's like, "So do you got your flats?" Because he already know the game, right? He's like, "You got your flats?" I'm like, "I don't need no flats. I'm gonna be sitting down most of the time. I'm standing up very, you know, just seldomly. When I get there, ain't nowhere to park. Right? Ain't nowhere to park. I had to park all far away. I was like, I could do this. And it wasn't even that far away. Back in the day, I would have been able to do that trick. But, you know, at this age with heels on, it looked like miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I was like, we're going to go and take these shoes off and just walk there real quick, then put them back on. Look, listen, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
That's a thing.
It is. So what's the thing outside of heels for y'all? Because we just kind of, but that's one of the things. What you got?
I'll go. Memory. My memory is, I already had a bad memory, but now it's just getting progressively worse. So that's why I always, as a business owner, you document everything, but I really document everything because you're not going to get me. That's one thing for sure. You're not going to get me, but I am going to forget. So I have to write everything down, document everything, keep every email. So that's the thing for me as I'm getting older.
Yeah, I'm glad you admitted it for us all. Because I'd be like, I didn't say that. I didn't say. Who said this? And my team be like, ma'am.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why I don't lie. First of all, I don't lie, but that's another reason because I'm not gonna remember what I said. And even in arguments, my husband's like, why am I arguing with you? You don't even remember. I'm like, true.
Memory is a big one. What about you, Monica?
For me, it is the importance of stretching. So, you know, whenever, you know, you're working out there, like stretching, and you're kind of, when you're younger, you're like, oh, whatever, let's get to it. You know, let's just do whatever. I don't need to stretch. And now it's like stretching is almost, it has to be an exercise within itself, right? And it makes so much of a difference in how I feel and how I'm able to move every day. And it's just like, wow, okay, so this is a daily task now. And before it was optional.
Y'all, like, remember in your 20s how you could spend time trying out new hairstyles like yourself? You would do it yourself, like try little things. And now I'm like, no, just let somebody else do this. We're not doing this. I'm not doing it. So yeah, that's my thing. So let's see what individuals say. I want to see. We'll come back. We about to have some fun with this. We got to have some fun with this session. So I'm gonna start with you, Monica. And when you hear the word, just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. It's okay. You can curse on here too. This is my show. I'm a cat. We do what we want to do. Okay. So wait for the Lucretia. I know you said you would have never guessed that's my spirit animal. I have 3 spirit animals, honey. The cat is one, the owl is the other, and the elephant is the third. Okay. Those 3: the cat, the owl, and the elephant. But I want to live my life like the cat. Okay. All right. So here we go. Monica, you ready?
I don't understand why I have to keep going first, but sure.
Don't question my rhymes and my reasons and my policies and my procedures. It's a memory thing, okay? It's just easier. Okay, here we go. Sisterhood.
I would say my sorors, and happy centennial, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Gang banging. That's a word. I'm throwing it out there because you just inspired.
No, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Yeah, you still going.
No, wait, I thought
you keep going until I tell you time. Go. Gang banging.
Wait. Pointless.
Sacrifice.
A means to an end.
Ceremony.
Ritual.
Privilege.
Advantage.
Aging.
A blessing.
Young tender.
Fun.
Zaddy.
Distinguished.
Struggle.
It's real.
Mentality.
Mindset.
Spiritual.
Grounded.
Alpha woman.
Strong and resilient.
Education.
The key.
Emotional intelligence.
Necessity for human interaction.
Ooh, okay. Flexible.
With that one, I would say pivot.
You had some good ones. That's probably one of the best I've had on this one. Good job, Monica. We're gonna pass it over to Pam. That's just a little mental mindset exercise. I like to see how people think when they hear, associate words, right? So for you, I'm gonna start with religious.
Faithful.
Therapy.
Necessary.
Love.
Happiness.
Forgiveness.
For self.
Success.
Endless.
Yes. Woman.
Powerful.
Ceremony.
Sacred.
Sacrifice.
Necessary. Did I say that already? Can I duplicate words? Okay.
Education.
The world is education.
Emotional intelligence.
Discernment.
Aging.
A beauty.
Young tender.
Fantasy.
Spoken like a married woman. Zaddy.
Fineness.
Sisterhood.
Community.
Alpha woman.
Unstoppable.
Yes. I love it. You guys did real good with that. You did
that
real
was
fun. Yes, I love that. It is fun. It breaks up a little bit of the monotony that we have going and just gets you going on thinking about things in a way that you may not even think about. Like when I hear, I got one for you, privilege. What do you hear when you hear privilege?
And I think she said advantage, but My first thought is always white privilege. That's always
Man, look, I had to ask because there has not been a session where a person didn't say white. At least one person didn't say white. So Monica, that was really good advantage, right? Like
because I look at privilege a little differently, because it's even outside of, right, there are certain things that we're all privileged for, right? And we take it for granted, but it's still an advantage. I know there was one where someone was talking about sitting in their car, like, oh, and I'm like, oh, that's a privilege, because I don't sit in my car where I live. I'm out of the car into the house. But for some people, that's their peace and their tranquility, and it's the opposite for me. So that's a privilege that they have that you may not have, which it could have something to do with being white, or it could not. So, but it's still an advantage.
That's a valid point. We all do have privileges, but the first thing that always comes to mind, especially as a Black woman, is white privilege, because we always grow up thinking or hearing and knowing we just got to work harder because of that side of privilege. But you brought up a very good point that if you reflect, we all have privileges that other people don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to go to bed in a home, having a place to call home, that's a privilege, especially when you roll past people that's sleeping on the streets. Right. I love, one of the things that I learned from traveling, which is why I love to travel, is because I'm always expanding my viewpoint. So as much as I love to be on a beach somewhere, I also love to go to places where I can learn history, culture, and understand that I'm literally just a dot in this universe, right? And so we have these ideas. But when I went to Brazil, you understand, I truly learned what it meant to be privileged. In Colombia, places where people can't get visas to come to America. Like I was like, that's a thing? I didn't know that before I started traveling. I just felt like anybody, if you got the money and the means, you can get up and travel. But people from Nigeria, for example, can't come to America without having real valid cause and somebody to validate, this is for work, this is for marriage, and you better have all of the paperwork to prove that it's real, right? So it is certain privileges that we have. We got this American passport, and ain't too many places that we can't go.
Yeah.
Right? When I was in Brazil and we walked into a restaurant, first they looked, but then as soon as I opened my mouth, they like, oh, American. And you ain't African American, you American. Which means you have more, the value of your dollar is worth 4 times as much as our dollar. So I know you have it to spend, right? So I just think that we definitely, I love that, Monica, because not to say, Pam, everybody, like I said, most people come here. I think it's only 2 people that have never said white. Right. But I'm like you. First thing I think about is white, because I'm thinking of privilege from a very Black American perspective. But when I go outside of here, privilege look completely different. Now,
and I mean, not even to interrupt, but remember I said I grew up in Flint, Michigan. It's people who never lived Flint. So to them, I'm privileged. And what was my advantage? The community and my family loving me and pouring into me to help me make decisions, where some people may not have that. So it's always advantages and privileges.
It definitely is. And I feel like I fight against that daily in just the work that we do, and having a global community where we find so many people come in with this privilege of thinking, oh, well, this person is from the Caribbean, or this person is from Africa, or this person is from the Philippines. Why am I paying this amount of money? That's a very privileged mindset for you to say, well, they should be okay with $5 an hour, $10 an hour. That's a privileged mindset that I've seen, and I deal with primarily Black businesses, and I'm hearing it from them. That's a privileged mindset, right? So I love it. This is the first time we've expanded into a whole full-fledged conversation around that game. Y'all making history up in here. Yeah. Okay. So tell me, Pam, today, I mean, we've had a lot of fun. We've had so much fun today. It wasn't as bad as y'all thought. Y'all came on nervous.
I love stuff like this. Yeah, no, I love it.
You do? Oh, yeah, you a hood nerd.
Which is great, by the way. Yeah,
I love it.
I definitely identify with that.
Yes, I'm when you get them shirts, I'm definitely going to grab me one because I feel like you my spirit around that one right there. But what was today? What was some of your greatest takeaways, Pam?
I really love that conversation we just went into about privilege and looking at it from that standpoint and not automatically thinking the race card. I also, when I come to Chicago, I definitely want to come get my nails done. I love Chicago too, by the way. So I'm gonna try to get there before the weather breaks because I don't come after October. And really just
Right.
more things of self-care in ways that I can implement that into my life and my schedule to take care of me as a person. So those were my big takeaways.
Yes, I love it. And when you come to Chicago, let us know. You get your nails done, and then we'll go get something to eat at one of our fabulous, many fabulous restaurants.
Yes.
Monica.
I would say the biggest takeaway was just the importance of relationships and making sure that the people that are surrounding you are supportive and that are watering as you grow and that you have a community.
Yes, that is extremely important. I love that piece too on how to evaluate whether or not you're in a community that aligns with who you are holistically, right? I think that sometimes we can just, oh, such and such said this community dope, so I'm going to jump right in, but it isn't necessarily the best community for us. I think that when it comes to business, personal and professional, but I think we talk a lot about like toxic relationships as it pertains to personal and not enough with professional. But the same rules apply across the board with all relationships, right? Align with those that feed your mind, body, and soul, and also look for the red flags. You know what I mean? If it doesn't fit, just because it fits for one person does not mean that it absolutely fits for you. Okay, if there was one question that you can ask Monica on this show right here for the group, right, and the people, the executives, and the audience that's watching, what would that be?
My question would be, what do you feel you need to do, or who do you need to become to get to your next level?
Ooh, Pam, you guess, so I'm gonna give you the first.
Say that again. Am I answering or I'm saying what question?
You answer it.
Oh, what do I need to get to the next level?
Who do you need to become?
Who do I need to become?
Who do you need to become? And this is for the executives and the audience. Think about that. That's a great question. Who do you need to become to get to your next level?
I need to become a CEO. I am not one now.
What does that mean?
I need to be able to remove myself from being the accountant in the business to the CEO of the business. So being able to hire, to delegate, to transition in that regard.
Okay. And I would answer that I have to become more disciplined in areas that I don't want to be more disciplined in, right? So for example, we talk a lot about health being a big part of our success. So that means being very consistent with how I eat, what I put in my body, and how I'm moving my body, especially with age, whether that's stretching. I'm very proud that I've been consistently going to Pilates. I'll get on my bike for a few minutes. So being disciplined in and being in the practice of discipline, right? So I'm talking about, oh, I want $1 billion valuation. That's a certain mindset that you have to have. And if working out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes is hard, it's going to be hard to get to that point. And I truly believe that. So I have to become more disciplined in areas that I don't want to be disciplined in because I'm a cat. I know how it is. Monica, what about you?
I would say disciplined as well, because with that, I know the things that I need to do. And I know we've discussed the book, The 5 a.m. Club and Atomic Habits.
Yes.
And I know that those methods work, and I've done them, and they've been tried and true. So just getting back to that space, because I know the impact that it will have. And I know in this season, that's what I need to get to the next level.
Absolutely. And if you have not read Atomic Habits, or it's been a while, I definitely strongly suggest you pick that up. One of the best books written on creating new goals, breaking habits, things of that nature. One of the best that I've read. And the 5 a.m. Club is very well written and fun to read with. That's it for me too. Disciplined and consistent in areas that's necessary for my growth. I guess I just hit on that. And Pam, what about you? Take us out with a question.
Yeah, I guess the question I would ask, what are the top 3 resources that you've had that have gotten you to where you are now?
Ooh, top 3. That's a good one. Ooh, Monica, I hate that you got to answer that first.
Okay, so the top resources. I'm going to say professional development, in just being able to find organizations and things that that provide tools and resources to help me along the journey. This is a tough one, Pam.
It doesn't have to be like it. Do you have a business best friend, your best friend, someone that poured into you? It doesn't have to be like real technical, but just the top 3 things.
Absolutely. And I would say meeting other nail professionals that have been willing to share information and form that relationship with, and be able to bounce ideas or even just to vent. So that's been also very helpful as well. And I would say my clients. Like, we have really amazing clients, and they are invested in what we're doing, and they share and, continue to support. So say those are the things.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say the very first thing is other business owners, right, that have shown up in various ways. So that could be through my network, that can be my existing clients, that can be it very industry specific persons. I love learning through other people's lessons, including my own, right? My biggest resource has definitely been my own mistakes, right? My own mistakes would be number 2 for me. 3 would be books and talks. I geek out a lot on reading, and also watching. I can go down a rabbit hole watching people like Myron Golden, for example, other teachers. Lamar Tyler is really good. And just that particular group, just geeking out and learning from other people. Self-education has been a major tool for me. So it's other business owners, self-education, and then incubators. Being blessed to be part of different incubators and programs that have helped me, from the University of Chicago, Chase, being part of a mastermind. Those things have been my greatest resources. So I'm going to say, in a nutshell, other people's information and lessons.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Pam?
Yep, I would say family for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily my husband. We weren't even together then, but when I started the business, he was like my consultant. I should have paid him. But I wouldn't be able to do this without that, because I never done a business before. I didn't know what to do, how to structure it, but just bouncing ideas off of them. So family for that support. Other business owners, like you guys mentioned, because being an entrepreneur can be lonely. It doesn't have to be, but it can be lonely, especially coming from an accounting environment where we always work in teams. Now, as an entrepreneur, I'm by myself. So having a sounding board amongst other business owners, having an event session with other business owners is key. And then other organizations, whether it was my business coaches that I've had throughout the years. I was also part of other different masterminds because as an accountant and CPA, I have no creative skills. I don't know anything about marketing, social media, how to project or present myself as me, and then how to make that fun. I can talk about accounting, debits, credits, profit, everything, but how can that translate to people? So I would say family, business owners, and marketing and business coaches in the other organizations.
I absolutely love. This has been such a great session. Now, listen, I know, Pam, you was talking about coming down here when the weather break. I heard you. I did, girlfriend. But we are definitely going to have a special session December 2nd. It ain't that cold. You from Flint. You from Flint.
I have been in Atlanta for 8 years. Listen, I tried to do New Year's Eve in Chicago once. That was a horrible
idea. That's New Year's Eve.
Ain't that far from December, but go ahead.
I mean, it's the same month, but December 2nd and December 31st, if you're from Chicago, you know that's two different worlds. That's two different worlds. We getting ready to enter into January, which January and February are like the coldest months. But December 2nd it's chilly. I ain't saying you don't need a coat and a hat. I'm not saying that, but we are
say that.
We're going to actually do a meetup here with all of the women who were part of the executive suite and some of our audience members for the executive suite. And I hope that you'll be able to join us. You ain't that far. I be in Atlanta all the time. I need to hit you up while I'm there, but I'm typically there doing like the mastermind stuff, right? So I'm in it. But December 2nd, we're going to have a whole food and other surprises that I will keep you informed about. But I definitely hope that you do put that on your calendar just in case. You might change it on there. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna come.
Okay. Because I was gonna be like, I don't know why sis acting like she not from the Midwest. It's only been 2 years of your life in Atlanta. And Atlanta cute, but don't it get like 30 degrees like in its coldest?
In its ultimate coldest, yes, that's not normal.
If
it's a threat of snow, ain't nobody going outside. So I'm just not used to that anymore. I don't want to deal with that.
Black ice. Stop playing with me. Okay. Look, okay, so this what we gonna do. I do have a little something for you guys, of course, because you were guests. Denicia, please show the ladies what they'll be getting from us.
That was like a game show.
Yeah. So you guys,
I love it.
I love mugs. If you're anything like me, I collect them. And so this is a nice executive suite. And on the back, it says thank you with our signature key because we are part of the key culture. And this is from our key culture store for anybody else that may want their own executive suite mug or any of the other teas. We'll soon have Pam's Hood Nerd up in our key culture store if you want to pick that up. Just doing a future manifestation. But you can go to Key Culture Store, keysupportsolutions.com and pick up a mug or any other goodies that we may have. Thank you, Denicia. And thank you, ladies, for being a part of the executive suite this afternoon. It's been great spending this Friday with you. This was a great way for me to come up off my vacation. Look, I was like, I was being a cat yesterday. It's hard. Once you get in cat mode, it's hard to come up out of that and get back into human mode. But here we are. We had so much fun. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. I hope to see you in December and again sometime next year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. This has been awesome. We have had fun. Did y'all have fun today? Tell me if you guys had some fun today. I know I did. What are some of your takeaways? Let me look and see. I don't see any. Oh, Tanisha said the being disciplined. Tanisha, it said it's great. Lucretia said Atlanta spoiled her. I get it though. The Chi-Town winter hit different. It do. I don't even want to be here in the winter. You understand? I'm looking for where my summer place gonna be. So I'm glad that you guys have fun. Thought it was educational. Yes, Tiffany, the self-care. And you guys heard me mention December 2nd, we're going to have an executive suite brunch with our guests that have been here this whole season. Okay. And I want to invite some of you guys to be in the building, of course, so that you can mingle with other entrepreneurs who have achieved a high level of success from all over the country. We're going to have fun. It's going to be food, a little music, and a lot of conversation and learning. So Denicia, would you take us out, right? Please take us out. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. December 3rd, my bad. I'm saying Saturday, December 2nd. It's Saturday, December 3rd. Thank you, Denicia, for that correction. And I will definitely continue to keep you guys updated on how to get tickets for that. It's going to be a really good time. As you see, all of our guests are very modest, very open, and willing to share. And you heard it here. And you've heard it multiple times, how important it is to have a community or build relationships. So your next mentor, next friend, sister friend may be in the building. So I hope to see you guys there. Take us out, Denicia.